group chat. Now all the girls had a group chat. Um, where we kind of just stayed. It was like a cordial group chat between me, Jessica, Janelle, Sierra, Lee, and Kat all together. Um, and so we were being cool. It wasn't like we were all buddy, but it was like, hey, who has a date tonight or whatever. We want to find out like who going on dates tonight to see if somebody going home or stuff like that or whatever. Well, this person she had called my phone direct, and I'm like, what's she gonna be about? You know, like what's this gonna be about? And she was basically just like, so trying to find out if I'm actually connected to Chris or something. Like, what's up with you and Chris kind of thing. Like, are you really trying to talk to him? Because like him and her were done at before the friend date, but now it's like officially because after the friend date it was terrible, right? So she's like asking me to put Maria in my top and she'll put Phil in her top so that, you know, they could be safe, basically. Um, and I was like, I'm literally leaving a date putting Maria in my friend zone. So number one, he's not in my top. He hasn't been in my top, and I'm not putting him in my top. Um, and I was like, and if Phil ain't made the right connections, that's on him. But inside, I knew like Phil ain't going nowhere because me and him are like the most genuine thing the show has going right now. They're not about to send Phil nowhere. But I wasn't going to tell her that because I didn't want to be, you know what I'm saying, put my confidence out there. You know what I'm saying? To where I felt like Phil ain't going no damn where. But I ain't about to tell you that because I don't know what y'all got going on over there. You know, so she was trying to get me to put him in my top and stuff. So what happened was that next lounge, she actually put Phil in her top. But see, she was thinking about herself. It wasn't about like, oh, I'm gonna do this for you. No, you know that if Chris leaves, then you're gonna be safer because Marie's gonna pick whoever picks him, basically at this point. So I didn't put Maria. I still didn't put Maria in my top at that point. But what got me was like after she put Phil in her top, and I'm like, yeah, you trying to make it seem like you got somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Which Phil ain't even a connection of yours. But when we got down to the dressing room after that, she came by and was like, "You see what I did? Like, I hope you see what I did. Like, I owe her a favor." I said, "I don't owe you. Like, you ain't done nothing for me. Like, you ain't done nothing for me. Don't make it think, I don't owe nobody nothing. I done been cool, cordial, and neutral this whole time. I ain't had no beef. I ain't crossed no paths with Janelle. I ain't crossed no paths with her. None of that. I ain't got no issues. So to try to make it seem like you did something for me by putting Phil in the top, Phil wasn't going nowhere, no way. If I really wanted to keep it 1,000, you know what I'm saying? I felt confident in the fact that Phil wasn't going nowhere because I'm like, me and Phil, of all of y'all, ain't nobody else got no real stuff happening. You know what I'm saying? So um, that was that, and then it was this whole thing about once we got to that house, it was like it's either Chris or Maria. Those are the main people that don't have, like for Jessica, you don't have anybody else. You only have Phil and Maria. So it was like, we know you and, not Phil, Chris and Maria. So if you only got Chris, and you know that if Chris ain't feeling you, you're out of here next week, when the guys are in power. So it was very clear to Maria and Jessica that y'all better stick together or else both of y'all gonna be gone in a minute if you don't do this. So when he said combative, I was just like, ooh, y'all see my face like during the thing, because I'm like, you said that? That's your connection. Like, they tell you a whole bunch of stuff. They'll remind you of things to say because, like, let's say you forgot everything that happened in the lounge or whatever. You're like, what they say? Whatever. Like, what was the stuff I'm supposed to be saying to the person? They'll tell you, and you can formulate your own words to say the information. So the fact that, like, that's why I said he didn't have to say that. You don't have to say the word combative. Like and then out of your mouth, you said to all of us, it was not just me who heard him say that. Like multiple people heard him say it. You said she does not like that. I know she didn't like that word. I'm like, so why did you say it? Like, y'all have clearly had a conversation about it. So why the hell did you say it? So that was my whole thing with it. I asked him multiple times after that, like, did you like why you like you said it, huh? Like that was your word, whatever. He was just like, I know it wasn't me, it wasn't me. But I feel like the semantics of it all started getting all mixed up, and people was like, no, because he felt it. He's the one that felt that way. That's really what it was, I think. And it was like, but still, like you didn't have to say it. She wouldn't have known what he felt if you hadn't been telling her. You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff. But what we weren't saying was she was the one tearing his ass down in the lounges every week. Y'all saw a little bit of it, but literally every week she was eating Chris alive. We weren't even telling Chris what was being said. She was eating him up every week.
What do you mean she was eating him up every week?
About their connect, like how she did in that lounge when she came for Lee and was like, he's unnecessary. Da, 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 da. It was getting progressively worse every time we had a lounge where it was like,
oh,
you have to say something negative because it was their connection wasn't what I got on Chris about during the show was like, you need to be clear when you are breaking off, like how I put friend zone Marie, me and Quentin ended our connection together. You needed to say you were ending this connection with her because what happened was I feel like he was trying to be nice, but not really ending it all the way. And so like when he got put on, he was telling production he don't want to go on no dates with her. But then he get put on these dates and be like, like trying to be like, well, she's a businesswoman, say this stuff, but you really ain't feeling her no more. You need to be clear. I'm like, clarity is key. Women need clarity. Say what you feel. If you don't want the connection no more, end it. So that's why she felt like she was doing something by ending it with him. She's like, I'm gonna let him love all the ladies. You're like, he been off of you for a long time, but you want to feel like you're the one that ended the connection or whatever, because that's the L. Like ain't nobody trying to take no L on TV. So
wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of little stuff to where I'm telling Chris like, be clear, because I'm in here listening to this stuff in the lounge. I'm trying to be respectful of the process too by not telling him what's happening, but I'm like, are you being clear with all your connections? The same thing with Marvin. When Marvin was in the process, there was a point when him and Red were when he was at the bottom with Red at the hoedown, and he was feeling. I was like, "Are you good?" Like I messaged him and stuff. He was like, "Yeah, I said, "You just need to be yourself. Like if your woman is here, she gonna feel you. If she ain't, she ain't. Be yourself. Don't be feeling like you need to be something different for different people. Like I'm big on that. Like be clear. Be who you are. Do not be trying to hide, that." And so I felt that was probably Chris's biggest downfall in the process was just not being like, look, Jessica. And he said he had a conversation with her, but I still feel like he probably was just being like, still not probably smiling the whole time and not really like being all the way clear. I don't know exactly what he said, but I feel like there's a part where you have to just kind of be like, look.
So what were the kind of things Jessica was saying about Chris?
And Janelle.
Oh, Janelle was involved too. But what Janelle ain't got no? Janelle wasn't dating Chris. She didn't date
She wasn't,
Chris.
but she always had something to say about him. It to tag along with whatever Jessica was saying.
So she was doing double
I
team.
look at him like a little brother, like a little boy. He's not really like, she said.
So what Jessica saying?
No, Janelle was saying that. She was saying that he basically, he told a story